Hey y'all, I think I'm live. Tell me if you can hear me. No, that doesn't work, Ben. I'm trying to cover up my TV, like I don't watch TV. So, anyway. Yeah, I know you don't want to live. Tell me if you can hear me. No, that doesn't work, Ben. Wait a second. I'm trying to cover up my TV, like I don't watch TV. So, anyway. Yeah, I know you don't want to. There we go. I'm sorry about the sound. Okay, so today I'm going to show you some more Valentine crafts. I wanted to do wait, I'm trying to see something else. I wanted to do a Norman church, but I just couldn't get it done in time. It's going to be good though. Okay, let me see if I can I'll show you from the top down when we get to it. So anyway, I'm just showing you some Valentine ideas. Some are easy, some are not easy, and time consuming, but we still got a few days. And I'm gonna look and see about comments. I saw somebody said it's pretty cold in Pennsylvania. We're in South Carolina and it's kind of cold. It's weird. Let me see. I'm trying to scroll up and see everybody because I sent out the email so late. I didn't expect to see many people here. So Paula, Roseanne, let me see. Oh, I'm really having scrolling problems today, and now I just lost myself. I gotta get that away. Oh shoot! Now I lost the chat. Where is it? Where can I see the chat? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like really messing up. Okay, I'm gonna have to ignore the chat. So Ben will have to tell me if there's something, you know, a good question or anything, because I clicked it away and I can't seem to find it back. So, yeah, like I said, discombobulated. Okay, so anyway, I'm working on this Norman church. So I think I'm going to switch to my other camera, you know, see if this works. This way. Okay. So this is the church I'm working on. I'm trying to show some contrast for the, I got little trim on it, which I think makes a big difference. And then it goes like this. Actually, this is the front. So you go in the church this way, and here's the back. There's an entrance at both ends. You know, you have to have two entrances. And I'm going to try to add some buttresses. I may have to shrink them down a little bit. But I think that makes it look much more kind of old if we add buttresses. So that's the plan for the Norman church. So I think it's going to look really good. And I had to look up the history. You know, I always look up the history. And the Norman architecture came into prominence around the 11th and 12th century. So it's really old, and it's not as refined as as the stuff we see, like the really fancy cathedrals and things. So I think it kind of works well for this season, and you know, it can look kind of it'll look great for St. Patrick's Day. You can make them sort of, you know, old looking and embossed stones. So, you know, I like the stone texture. But anyway, that's coming up. So I wanted to go over some things that because I've been doing this for a while, so I have a lot of crafts that you may not be aware of. And let me see. This I love. This is a spinner card I made a long time ago, several years ago. I love spinner cards. I just think it's fun to open them up. And these are written, so you can write them with your pen and your thing. Okay, so, and I did a bunch of options for you. So anyway, I just think that's fun. And another card I made was a Llama card, a Llama pop-up card. But when I did this tutorial, and I don't know the design number, I'm hoping Ben will be putting design numbers. This is a simple pop-up card. And what I did, I wanted to show you how you can use any cutout to make a pop-up card. And basically what you do is put this rectangle behind whatever your cutout is. And you can absolutely turn anything into a pop-up card. Because we all have designs we love, but it's just another way to use them. So simply, and in the pattern, there are a number of sizes. So if you have something narrow, you can use a narrower piece, or you want it to extend further out, you can have longer connections here. So I wanted to show you that, but that's a simple pop-up card. Like I said, I'm hoping Ben will look up design numbers, and the same thing with the spinner card. All right, now, if you give me a minute, I'm gonna let me try to go back, because I'm missing the chat and it drives me crazy. Here we are. Here we are, and I don't know how to see chat. I can't remember how to see the chat. Live chat, open panel. There we go. Oh, good, I found live chat. Okay, so which one is design number 189?
Llama pop-up card.
The Llama pop-up card is 189. Okay, now this one I made a long time ago, and I really like it. This, you know, it's old, so it's got a little what happens at my house is it gets cat hairs on it. But I made this little mailbox a while back, so the little Valentine mailbox, but I think I've updated it, and I made it bigger because you can actually put a gift card in it. But the thing I neglected to do was I actually didn't make it long enough. So you could stick a gift card in, but the door has to be open. And the differences are, knocking off cat hair, the differences is that I've got a circular base, which is sturdier. It doesn't tend to curl up quite as much. And I added tabs. Let me see if you can see. Tabs on the inside so that it's easier to anchor the post, and I added tabs at the bottom, and you just do several layers of cardstock to anchor the post rather than just insert the post. This post is just inserted in a square, so I think it's a better design. And there we go, that's the mailbox. But I do think the little Valentine mailbox is very cute, and I've done them for I think there's an Easter mailbox, and we did a Halloween mailbox as well. So they're different variations. Okay, I don't know when I did this. I think this is probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago for Cricut Craft Fest. I made the little lamb basket, and I really like it. Alley Cat likes to eat this. She's been chewing on the paper. And that's one reason I do paper kind of confetti stuff, is because if the cat eats it, it's not as bad as if they eat the plastic stuff. Okay, so this is my little lamb basket, and you can see it is perfect for Valentine's Day. It's one of my favorites. Now I did another design, and I'm not sure if this is in the free pattern or if it's in my what I call my seasonal candy boxes. But the little bunny, even though it's a bunny, you could, you know, just put a heart here and use it for Valentine's Day, because the bunny is really cute. I sort of used it from like a coloring book or a vintage card, and that's how I designed it. Same thing with the little lamb. And I like the little black-faced lamb. They're like little Switzerland lambs. So let's see. Yeah, Alley Cat, yeah, she wants to eat this stuff. She's like right there. Like, when are you going to bring back the grass? Okay. And let me see. I'm going to take these out. So again, this was one of my first designs when I just learned to make patterns. So it's a very simple design. And actually it was before I learned to do cutouts very well. So I used some Tim Holtz letters to make these cutouts and to make a really cool little kind of these are called conversation hearts. You know, the heart shape are called conversation hearts with bear hug and with the little messages. And so I thought that was a really fun basket to do too. My treat, puppy love, you rock. So this is, I don't know, the baskets are, oh, Paula is so good, 151. But I really like this one. I'm not sure if those are the right baskets. Okay. And then these are Piñata hearts. So when I made them, I actually just used hot glue to glue the shape down, but I don't think it's not as exact as I like. So now I usually put a template down, and I guess you could do hot glue around the template, but that makes it much easier to anchor these strips of cardboard. And I use cardboard. You can make them out of cardstock. I've made a number of little boxes out of cardstock, but I really like the cardboard ones. And then I just kind of covered it with crepe paper, so it's like a piñata effect. Let me show you. And again, this was when I was doing a lot of Tim Holtz stuff, which I love. But now that I do my own designs, I don't use his stuff as much, but he has these incredible stamps. Look at this Valentine's Day stamp. Look at the little Cupid, and this little Cupid cutout. I've never drawn a Cupid, but little Cupid cutout, and I just poked a hole kind of right up at the top. And then I also edged it a little bit with some of his distress inks. You know, I just love them. So that's the little heart, and I've made a shamrock using the same pattern. Oh, and here's one that's just plain red. And again, little Tim Holtz cutouts. I love these little hearts and a little envelope. I have some little envelopes that come with the mailbox design. So anyway, if you want to make little heart boxes and you don't want to buy them, you can get them from your hobby store for a few dollars, but we've got cardboard, we've got cardstock. We can make our own little boxes. Okay. Oh, Tiffany is having to leave. I think a lot of times it seems like Tiffany was working when, okay. And we did the Christmas bakery, and there's a Valentine variation of the Christmas bakery with this little set of kind of, I think of them as little cookies, Valentine cookies. So that is, and so there's some cutouts, there's some graphics from Canva that I did for the Valentine Candy Confections Bakery. And let's see, I think I showed you this last time, the candy corn house. Just, it really is one of my favorites, partly because it was one of the first houses I designed was a Halloween candy corn house. And then I realized they have candy corn for different seasons. And so they have, you know, Valentine candy corn. They all have clever names. I think Valentine candy corn is called Cupid corn. And you probably can't find it at your, you know, your at your regular store, your grocery store or drugstore. But you can order it online from the makers of candy corn. They make this special one, but they call the Valentine one Cupid corn. And here I found this. And I'm like, oh yeah, this modifies really well. This is the windmill. And instead of doing tulips for the design around the windmill, you could just do hearts. You know, the shapes are similar. So you could do hearts and do some pink colors. And so the windmill design, I think, lends itself to Valentine's Day really well also. Yeah, when I was looking at my stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good one. Alley Cat, stop it. We're moving this. You're going to She's gonna make herself sick. No, give me that. You know, they always eat this stuff they're not supposed to eat. Okay, so the windmill, think about the windmill. And you know, this is the Cricut Cutie house. This version is made out of cardboard, but we've also made several versions. I mean, I think I've done them on video with card stock, but you know, you get some really cute Valentine paper inside and outside, and you know, nice Valentine colors. So the Cricut Cutie house would work really well also. The bird house was adorable. The round house, are you talking about the candy corn house? Amy was asking about the bird house, was adorable. There is a bird. I love this paper so much. This was some retired paper from Martha Stewart when she made craft. She had a lot more crafting materials, but I thought it was a really great paper. I always end up hoarding them, and then, like, you know, you really need to use it. It's great paper. So that's the candy corn house, the Cricut Cutie house, and we made this one from a gingerbread house variation. And I haven't, I'm going to move this up just a little bit. I haven't added it to the gingerbread house page, but there is a variation, and the Valentine variation is in design number 200 and something. It's one of the later ones. Yeah, but I think that one's very cute. And all I did was added some hearts. Like, I saved these heart cutouts, and I think I added some to the pattern, and then I decorated the roof a little bit with some hearts too, and the heart shutters. So anyway, I think this is a very cute house. You could put it in a child's room. I think they just love it. And then, you know what we've been doing lately? Some of the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've done these little cake toppers. But I think they're perfect for Halloween too. Halloween. I always like Halloween. Valentine's as well. So this is a small version of the flamingo, and that would work great. You can use the flat one on a card. Let me get the flat one. So really, if you just cut out some legs, you could have it on a pop-up card. Maybe have it going through some reeds or something, some tall grass in the marshes, and you could do your flamingo as a pop-up. I don't think the stork, wait, let me grab a stork. I don't think the stork necessarily works for Valentine's, but it's very cute. And then the last one we did, I think it was last week, was the swan. And the swan definitely, and one thing I think I always point this out, is if you put two together, it's very much like a heart shape. You could put a heart in the bill, and that would look good. And remember, there's a flat version as well. And that would make a great pop-up card. Just putting the little rectangle, that's kind of 3D rectangle, the little box behind it, and it would be a great one. And I did that one, I did the swan in 3 sizes. So here's the small one. The small, where are my cards? Let's see. Just to see. Yeah, the swan would work well. And just a little box behind the swan, just this little rectangle, pop-up rectangle, and you could have a really cute one, and, you know, like I said, put a heart on the bill. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with these. I really like these 3D swans for cake toppers. But, you know, I think they work well for Valentine's Day. Let me move some stuff out of the way. I actually had to hide the swans because to Alley Cat, they look chewable. She will attack the swans. There we go. And here's the big flamingo. Somebody who had surgery recently in hands, she can't craft right now, so I'm actually going to send some 2 or 3 to her. Okay, let me, no, you cannot eat the flamingo. The flamingo's everybody's favorite, I think, but the swan's very good too. Give me these. Okay, what else? I think I've gone through most of my stuff, most of my ideas. Okay, and then from the Village Workshop, I did the Valentine variations. So there are 12 different houses with Valentine variations. And I think whenever I show these to you, I pretty much always show at least this one because it's really my favorite, the little chalet. I think I'm going to make, not sure, I think I'm going to make a chalet for the Cricut Adventure, my friends Amy and Jen. I think I'm going to make a chalet pop-up card. We'll have to see. I have to see what's inspired. Or I might do an Irish cottage pop-up card. Okay, what else? The other thing. I always show you the one I don't like, which is my Valentine Villa. And it's only because I didn't do great colors. Let me, if you can bear with me a minute. I'm going to be, oh yeah. Nan said the stork would work for a Valentine baby. That's true. Yeah, that would work. Okay, I'm coming back. This is the Valentine Villa, and I actually like it best as a Halloween house, but I did do the little Valentine version with little hearts in the shutters. And for the Halloween version, I actually made this taller. I think this steeple looks a little stunted, so I actually made it taller so it's a little more dramatic. And you know, we've made the little Cricut Cutie campers, which I have hidden from myself. This is a tiny version, so you can make that, and it would be, you know, do it in Valentine colors and just add some hearts, or use a pretty patterned paper to make the little miniature camper. I do not know the number of the miniature camper. I did that a few years ago. Oh, Amy's asking about the bottom of the candy corn house. This is a ribbon roll, like a Christmas ribbon roll. And I actually pull the top and bottom off because I like them to be sturdier. So this is 2 or 3 layers of cardboard. And this is a heart-shaped kind of garland or whatever decor around the edge. And yeah, so it's a ribbon roll, but I think it makes a really good base for houses. So I do that every once in a while. But save your ribbon. You know, we kind of hoard anything that might be able to be used for a craft. So yeah, you can hoard your ribbon rolls. You can add them to your collection. But it's really nice. It's always a really sturdy piece of cardboard here. But I usually do take the bottom and top off because I want to use more layers of cardboard. Or you can just paint them, but I would still add an extra layer or 2. Use them as a template, and then glue an extra layer or 2. Yeah, you can't put links in chats. So what I'm going to do is add to the description afterwards all the things I mentioned. Okay, the Halloween camper is the big version that we use for the Cricut Cutie, and there's not a specific Valentine one. But this is a miniature camper, a little mini camper. I don't know, I can't remember what I called it. Okay, I'm gonna switch cameras, assuming I can find the right button. I'm gonna rotate this out of the way. Okay. Amy says, yes, another hoarding item. Yes, ribbon rolls. But I actually have like a big box of things I save for bases, like, you know, for the, sometimes I use, this is a cheese box, like a little brie or camembert cheese box. and it makes a nice base. And you know, you can just put some little thing in it, and it makes it, it just makes it special for somebody. And they don't have to keep it, you know, but it's just kind of a special way to give somebody something and let them know you care about them. Susan was here, and happy to see you, Susan. And let's see, I'm gonna try, I can't seem to scroll for the, for the chat. Okay, let me see. Okay, and then for the cake toppers, they're the last 3 weeks. I've written up tutorials for the flamingo, and I wrote a detailed tutorial for the what was left? The swan. But I have not written up a tutorial yet for the stork. And, but you know, it's one of those things I hope to get to. But you make them the same way. So, yeah, I think they're really fun. Okay, let me see if anybody, I see Barbara. Hey, Barbara. And see if anybody else has any questions. Now I'm scrolling back to the bottom. Yeah, you can't put, unfortunately, you can't put links in the chat. But like I said, I'll go back in the description. I was so far behind. Honestly, until like 2 hours ago, I was going to do this for you. But I just didn't have it perfect. Like, let me show you. Let me see if you can see this. Okay. You know, inside there's a glue tab. Well, the glue tab here blocks a window. So I have to make a little cutout so that it won't block a window. When I made this little framing, I wanted the trim to really stand out. So I made this little frame, but somehow I added an extra cut that I have to fix. And on my Cricut, sometimes the tip, the scoring, doesn't go to the top. And you see how it's kind of truncated? It's not a nice sharp tip. So I have to try to figure that out. And so they're just all these little details that I'm like, oh, I don't know if that looks right. That always, you know, that ends up taking some time. So anyway, I think that's it for today. I know it's not a lot. And like I said, don't worry, I'll add the descriptions. And for all the things I've mentioned, I'll go back through and add links. I'll add links and design numbers. And if you are new here, I should always introduce myself. I'm Lucy. Paperglitterglue.com is my website. And subscribe to my newsletter where I keep you up to date, even if it's like sometimes it's a little late. I keep you up to date on all the crafts I do, and you'll get the password. The password's always in the bottom. Sometimes it's in little teeny weeny letters, but it's always there. So you can get the password to my free library. And there are over 200 designs there. Some are old, not that great, but some are really good. The candy corn, I think, was one of my very first ones, and I think it was like design number 7 or something. So I did that when I was starting out, either in 2018 or 2019. Okay, so I'll see you next week. We're going to do, I think this is going to look really good, our little Norman church. And I made it small because if you're wondering about my designs, I always try to do designs that'll fit on at least a 12 by 12 piece of paper or 8.5 by 11. So that's kind of my main constraint. So that's one reason it's this small. You can enlarge it if you want, but I like my projects small, partly for storage, because you know you can kind of tell I have a lot. So from a storage standpoint, I think that's helpful. But also from an aesthetic standpoint, I think the little things are cuter. So that's one reason I do it. Okay, I see Cheryl there. Cheryl, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go, and y'all take care of yourselves and your people, and I will see you next Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, y'all take care. Bye.